ask the Minister for the Interior the steps taken to ensure the enforcement of the law in response to the recent violence during the Council of State elections in the Ashanti region on Tuesday, 11 February 2025, particularly regarding the reported instance of thugs overpowering the police. Thank you.
Honourable Minister, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm here to answer these questions, and I'm accompanied by the newly appointed Inspector General of Police in the person of COP Christian Tete Yaonu. Mr. Speaker, this is the first time that he's coming here, and I thought that I need to mention that he's here to answer the question with me. Right Honourable Speaker, the Ashanti Regional Council of State election began on the 11th of February 2025 at around 8 a.m. at the Regional Coordinating Council premises in Kumasi, which ended around 11:30 a.m. when sorting of ballots began. Mr. Speaker, unfortunately, when counting was about to begin, some observers standing by ran over the barricades and destroyed the ballots and other election materials. Mr. Speaker, the Ghana Police has since launched an investigation into the disturbances. Footages of the incident have been obtained to assist in identifying the perpetrators who disrupted the process for their arrest and prosecution. Right Honourable Speaker, square to the investigation, the police administration accordingly adopted the following strategy to ensure a successful rerun of the election on the 17th February 2025. Change in the command structure, where the regional police commander himself was changed, and some other changes were made within the command to ensure strict compliance to election security protocol, including restricting access to the middle and inner perimeter to only Electoral Commission accredited personnel. The police administration has taken cue from the 11th February 2025 incident to ensure it does not reoccur in the future election. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Any supplementary?
Rightly so, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Minister in his answer took the opportunity to introduce the new IGP. I want to congratulate him on his appointment. Suffice to state that in the statement from the Minister responsible for government communications, he told the country that the new IGP has spent 40 years in the service, 40 years as a police officer. So at the right time, we would calculate whether he entered at a 20, 19, or 18, his age and all. But he says, he stated publicly that the new IGP has spent 40 years in the service. That is just by the way.
Honourable Minority Leader, you have to ask a supplementary question.
Mr. Speaker, I am congratulating him because this is the first time he's introducing him. And then he talked about 40 years in the service. So I'm only doing the mathematics. Whether the IGP is going to retire very soon or what. But, Mr. Speaker, that's beside the point. I want to ask the Minister, when should we expect this investigation to be completed, and when would the report be submitted for us to know? Because this is a serious matter of national importance. Tax overpowering police, and it's a good effort that you are investigating. But the question is, when are we expecting the investigation to be completed and the report be submitted?
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as my colleague may know, I have given the police administration up to the end of this month to give me an update. But as to whether the investigation will be completed, like I said, they are looking at the footage and trying to identify the perpetrators, get them arrested and prosecuted. And as you may know, if you identify someone and you cannot find that person, how will you be able to say that at this particular date I can finish? But the update, I'm sure, they will give me periodic updates, and at the end of this month, I expect an update from the police administration on how far they've gone with the investigation and whether they've been able to make some arrests, and if they have, what they are doing. So surely when I get those updates and you are interested, why not? I'll let you know. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, we were told of some initial arrests. The media reported of some initial arrests. And these thugs interrupted the proceedings in a broad daylight. In a broad daylight. And we're told of some initial arrests. Can the minister tell us the status of prosecution of those who were initially arrested? The incident having taken place in a broad daylight.
Mr. Speaker, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the leader is telling me, the minority leader is telling me there was some arrest. My report doesn't indicate so. So I'll find out from the police, because what the media reports may be different from what the police report. So I'll cross-check from the police whether truly on that said day there were some arrests. But what they told me was that they are reviewing the CCTV footage, and they will be able to identify the people, because like you rightly said, it's a daylight thing, so you'll be able to identify who first jumped over the barricade and all that. Then they'll pick it from there. But the information to me hasn't indicated that there was any arrest on that day. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the respected minister who also once served in leadership of this House is telling us that those thugs are being pursued. May I know from him whether he's committed into telling this House that should these thugs be found to be partisan activists, he will still pursue them irrespective.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I treat crime as crime. And as he rightly knows, crime has no color. And definitely, once you commit a crime, it does not really matter which party or which tribe or which religion or which group you come from. Once you commit a crime, crime has been committed. And I can assure him that once crime is committed, I will support the police 100% to do the needful and make sure that the perpetrators are brought to book. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, the minister again tells us that there were some changes in the command at the regional level because of such failings. Is he able to tell us whether, as a result, some disciplinary action is being taken, or, as has been the usual practice, these officers are only being reassigned to other units of within the police service?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, all the information the police gave me was that the command had to be changed because of the security breach. I want to find out from them whether what happened, the command structure that they are saying had been changed, requires that those officers that have been changed be punished. Because remember, they also have regulations that guide what they do and what constitutes a crime, what can institute a punishment or an inquiry on an officer. So I'll find out from them. But the information to me is that the command structure was changed to enable them have a different strategy for the re-election, which happened and it was very successful. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, finally on this matter, Can the minister assure us that with the change in the command structure, the people of the Ashanti region should be assured of their peace?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I'm very sure the people of Ashanti, which I'm one, can be rest assured because the subsequent election proved that the changes was effective and we had a very peaceful election that produced a result that everybody was happy with. So I can assure him that, yes, the people of Ashanti, including myself, can be rest assured that the changes have brought more professionalism into the operations of the police. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. The next question is also standing in the name of Osahin Alexander Kwamina Afenyo Markins.
Respectfully, Mr. Speaker, I stand to ask the Minister for the Interior the circumstances surrounding the attempted arrest of the Member of Parliament for Akotia, Honorable Ernest Yakumi, by 10 operatives of the National Intelligence Bureau and 3 official pickup vehicles on Friday, the 7th of March 2025 in Akotia.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the Koforidua High Court on 19 February 2025 issued a bench warrant for the arrest of Ernest Yakumi, Member of Parliament for Akotia constituency. The warrant was served on the National Intelligence Bureau, NIB's Eastern Regional Office through the National Security Coordinator. Right Honourable Speaker, the circumstances surrounding the attempted arrest of the Member of Parliament by the officers of the NIB was therefore to carry out the orders of the High Court per the warrant dated 19 February 2025 for committal for contempt. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Yes,
Mr. Speaker,
Honourable Minority Leader.
there is a serious revelation in this reset government. Now, can the minister tell us this and bring clarity? He says that a court order against a citizen who is the people's representatives was served on a national security coordinator at the regional level, Eastern Regional National Security Coordinator. And this metamorphosed into NIB operatives enforcing a court order. Can the minister tell us who served this, directed this order to be given to the Eastern Regional Coordinator of National Security for it to be enforced by the NIB against the Honourable Member of Parliament? Can the minister tell us who served this order? Because he said the order was served in his answer. He said the order, the bench warrant, was served on the Regional Security Coordinator. The regional, yes, he's the National Security Coordinator for the region, the Eastern Regional Coordinator.
So, Honourable Minority Leader, are you asking of the name of the server of the process?
No, please, respectfully. The institution, let's deal with the institution. Yes. He says the order was served on the Regional National Security Coordinator. And the Regional Security Coordinator also directed NIB. Mr. Speaker, it is important to draw the distinction. National Security Coordinator, he has his institution by law, and then we have NIB also operating by law. I want to know from the minister which institution directed the order of the court to be served on the National Security Coordinator for it to be effected by his office or her office against the Member of Parliament. We want to know who.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, a while ago, I just drew the attention of this House that crime will be treated as crime. And once a court issues a bench warrant for an individual for a crime committed, it is for the state to ensure that that person is arrested. And Mr. Speaker, this was done in line with our laws. He committed a crime. The court said he has committed crime of contempt. And the court issued a warrant for his arrest. And the state apparatus just have to implement the court decision. And Mr. Speaker, as to who physically took the warrant to the National Security Coordinator or to the police, remember, you are an officer of the court and you know better than I do that in the court building where you are, you have police, you have all the other operatives. Once the court issues a warrant for an individual for committing a crime, I just earlier said it, crime is a crime. It does not know a member of parliament or non-member of parliament. He committed a crime, the court says he should be arrested, and we have to effect the arrest. Give me the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I will continue to repeat. We must be careful the president we are serving. Mr. Speaker, the minister made a reference to me that I'm an officer of the court, and he said so rightly. When a court gives an order, when a judge sitting as a judge of equity and justice makes an order, that order is to be drawn. And when the order is drawn, the registrar effects service of the order through a bailiff of a court. Mr. Speaker, there's a matter of law and procedure. And I know that there are well-respected lawyers, not only on this side, but on the other side. The minister is saying that once the court made an order, the NIB, the national security, had a duty to be going around enforcing a court order. My question is very specific. Did the court registrar...
Honourable Minority Leader, what was the order? Let's make a distinction between warrant of arrest and a court order.
Mr. Speaker, with respect, a warrant of arrest properly drawn by a court must be served, must be enforced. I am asking, did the registrar of the court serve the order on the National Security Coordinator in the Eastern region? Did the registrar serve the order on the officer in Eastern region? Is that what happened? We want to know.
Honourable Minority Leader, you've asked a question, so he's in to provide an answer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, that's exactly what I said. I said the National Security Coordinator was served. He was served. Service, as you rightly said, is done by bailiffs. But unless you are telling me I should go and get the fine details, who wrote the warrant, who signed it, who was it handed over to, so that I can take all that line from the courtroom all the way to the National Security Coordinator's office. But you know definitely the National Security Coordinator is not going to walk into the courtroom with an NIB official to say that, oh, once we issue a warrant, can we have it to go and effect arrest? No. Somebody served it in line with the law. So, Mr. Speaker, so far as we are concerned, the law was adhered to, a crime was committed, and a crime was committed, and the National Security Coordinator was served for the warrant to be effected. And that was what happened. And unfortunately, they didn't get him. Because if they had gotten him, he would have definitely been arrested. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Minister, thank you for your answer.
Last one. Mr. Speaker, the minister, this is a house of records. This is a house of record. The minister says, unfortunately, they didn't get him. If they had gotten him, they would have arrested him. Mr. Speaker, the minister should know this, that at the time the officers were in Koforidua, in Akwetia to arrest the MP, the Supreme Court had issued an order by a 4-1 decision freezing the enforcement of those orders. That is one. Two, Mr. Speaker, at the time that those NIB officers were on rampage, they actually made an attempt and pulled a weapon, and the town folks, through the noise they made on the injustice, they had to run away. Mr. Speaker, the minister should not endorse illegality and unconstitutionality. But I want to ask him whether it is part of the NIB's duties.
Honorable Minority Leader, I will recognize the Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, the Minority Leader, and I said it this morning, I continue to get worried about the manner in which the Minority Leader uses the facilities of this House. The opportunity to ask ministers questions is closely governed by Order 86. The type of questions you can ask. You cannot make or imply a charge of a personal character or which reflects upon character or conduct except of a person in an official or public capacity. You cannot ask questions that contain charges which the member asking the question is not in a position to substantiate. These are all matters that govern questions. You've just made statements about some people wielding guns, attempt to use a gun, and etc. If we ask you to substantiate that now, can you do that?